Hi, how you doing? We are live, people. We are live. You saw the thumbnail. So this is Country Conversations with David D. And I've been actually just doing research because when I saw who did I see? I can't remember who I saw. I don't know if it was my head that's supposed to be level to my head, not one side up, one side down. Uh, let's see. I saw first this week. I believe I saw a lot of stuff, but I think I saw first was Jaguar. But let me just say, starting with Jaguar, I believed every word she said the first moment that I ever saw her on Storm Monroe's channel. Okay. I am a follower of Storm, and I have always been on his side in regards to what happened between him and Tasha K. I always thought he was telling the truth because Storm seems like he's a truth teller, yeah, everybody lie. But at the same time, I went with his side of things more so than hers because he seems like he does the work. Um, yeah, what's going on here? And so I was like, okay, wait a minute. Then I heard somebody through the YouTube streets, and I don't know if it was him or not, but I do want to give him his credit. But I heard through YouTube streets that Heavy D was also involved some kind of way, maybe in one of these so-called incidents, right? So I was like, okay, now what in the world is the connection with Heavy D? And so I guess that's gonna stay like that. I have to represent the still. But anyway, I was like, what is the connection with Heavy D? Now, I just want to go back to the 90s a little bit and remind people why I got so involved in this. Because I am a huge, huge Heavy D fan. And I was like, what in the world did Heavy have to do with this? But let's go back. This is my piping hot tea segment. So I normally go live with these because this is where the hot topics reside. Where the topics reside, where the topics reside. So here we go. Now I reached out to my sources and I was like, yeah, DVD got sources. I'm trying to tell you, I have people. So I reached out to my sources and sources say, huh? I said, now what in the world did Diddy have to do with uh Heavy D? And he was like, okay, well, you ready? You ready for the knowledge? And he drops knowledge on me, and I'm gonna tell you about the knowledge that he dropped on me. Now, first of all, let's get into what's been happening in the YouTube streets. Everyone except me at this point have been reporting about Jamie Foxx. Okay, Jamie Foxx is also involved in a what is now considered a lawsuit for sexual harassment. Child. And oh no, not my mic. My mic sounds nice. Let me check. Let me change my mic. Ah, when you laugh, honey, anything is bound to happen. I have to. So let's see if this one will do better. I try to keep them charged for incidents such as this right here. And I'm like, okay, we'll keep one charge, keep the other one charged, but I only have one charge. So how that rolls out. Let's hope this one don't turn out. But I was looking on TMZ, and TMZ had also reported that a third woman has come forward saying that she was about to sue Diddy. Okay, now these lawsuits, everybody may be like, okay, why are they piling on? Well, the lawsuit for the civil suits involving these sexual harassment charges, the state of New York were giving people extensions. So, in order for the statute of limitations not to be up, these women had to come forward by today. So that's why it may seem like it's a pile on, but in a way, isn't that what he did? Piling on. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, child. Now, let's get involved with that particular lawsuit. That one that's come down the pike is saying that and Aaron Hall was involved in a gang gape type situation. Um, then I was looking at Storm late in the night because I was trying to get my Real Housewives SLC video out because I knew I was coming live today for this one. And next will be Sisters, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put that down because my high school football team is going to North Half. And if they win tonight, they'll be playing for the championship. So shout out to Big Louisville. So I was kind of like involved in that and involved in this. And then, in and out of both. And then, of course, Dallas playing yesterday. So it's a lot going on. But some people decided to go ahead and drop the T midnight anyway. That person was Storm. And he also said that he pulled the video of Aaron Hall saying that he loves the duck bitches, right? And it's no, it a lie that don't have his print written on the JJ because he's such a great lover. And the word on the street is that he is well endowed. And let me say again, all of these things are alleged, and in my opinion, again, these things are alleged in my opinion. Um, yeah, so he was saying that he's well endowed, and you know, he on the bitch uteruses. Basically, he busting them wide open. Well, he is uh, named in that suit, and but he is they going for what a money reside, what a money reside. So I'm not sure if he has money long enough to kind of protect him in this lawsuit or to settle in this lawsuit. But he was also talking about how, and it did it and the rest of them know how I like to get down, how I duck bitches. So when I say duck, I mean put an F in front. Okay. He very crass, very nasty talking, just really disgusting how he talks about, women. But let me go back and uh, get back to the story at hand. Okay. I found my article about Diddy in this latest lawsuit. So I'm getting to that first, just a little bit. Diddy. This is reported by TMZ. There you go. I mean, I'm gonna show it to you right there because I don't want no problems over here on this tiny channel. Just getting off the ground, so I want things to be on the up and up. Besides all that, you're looking at a public relations / journalism major and mass communication. So I know how to recite a source. Pat on the back for that. For the money reside, for the money reside. But anyway, here's what a spokesman for Diddy is saying. All of these fabricated claims from 30 years ago are blatantly un- um, are blatant for money and financial gain. The New York legislature never intended for adult survivors to be exploited. Well, for you to exploit the adult survivors act, in other words. Now, hmm, what is considered exploitation when it comes to actual abuse or gape, right? Because a lot of times, and this is happened to hundreds of millions of women in the world. Do we really know when we are being actually abused? Because a lot of times we have a tendency to say, well, I shouldn't have been there. So we go over in our minds everything that was said or was going to be said to us, right? So my first experience with the understanding of what date gape is was from the show Young and the Restless. It was a character on there by the name of Cricket. And Young and the Restless actually brought that to the forefront for a lot of people. I don't know if it had been talked about prior to, but that's where I got my knowledge on date gate. So, and then Diddy is being sued for the third time, and I just said that for allegedly being involved in a gang gape situation. The lawsuit obtained was filed by an anonymous victim by the name of Jane Doe. Aaron Hall took turns gaping her in 1990 and 91. She can't remember which one. The lawsuit alleges that the woman met Diddy through a friend, and they began to um, supply her with drinks, and then they went back to the hotel. Now, what kind of drinks was he supplying her with? Right? So, it's also alleged that he supplied his own girlfriend, Paramore, uh, Cassie, with these drugs as well, similar drugs. Okay. Now, let me just say, going back, I'm going to be reporting more so on his connection with Heavy D, because nobody's really delving deep into what happened between he and Heavy D. Now, Heavy D, one more time, that was my boy, that was my guy. Overweight love is in the house. The overweight love's in the house. You think I can do it, did you? Cause your girl got it, cause your girl loved her some heavy, heavy, heavy D, heavy D in the house. Okay, and we got the number of talent shows that me and my girls won on that song. Baby, that little skip jump dance. I don't remember the name of it. We just called it the Heavy D. Okay. So, little history on Heavy D. Let's get into it. Jamaican born Heavy D, aka the White Right, was an American artist, instrumental in bringing new artists to the forefront. Now, let's go back to that. I had no idea of his real involvement with Uptown Records. I thought he was just an artist. Well, he wasn't only an artist. He and Andre Harrell was right hand, left hand man. So here's a little history on Andre. What happened to Andre was he left Epic or Arista. I think Clive was head of Arista. So he came up under Clive. Well, we're not talking about Clive right now, but we can go deep dive in a history on that good Clive because he was all up involved, alleged involved in all that mess that was that Playboy match. Okay, and we still don't know question mark dot what went down with he and Whitney. But he was intertwined in this because Andre Harrell was his protege. And everything transferred over to Uptown. Okay, so Uptown, you had and this is RGG reporting this. I have to cite, like I said, cite my sources. I'm not plagiarizing over here. I just did the research because I really wanted to know what was Heavy D's connection to Dilly because I really didn't know. You know, I thought, Heavy was independent of all of this because I never really saw Diddy hanging out with Heavy D like that. But if you go back and look, he is everywhere Heavy D went. He was actually his backup dancer. So, anyway, and you guessed it, like I said, he was involved with Jodeci, Soul for Real. He brought all of these artists to Uptown. Father MC, L.B. Sure. Let's see. Not only, yeah, I always said did, and a little known actress dancer. by the name of Lolo. Oh, J-Lo. Yes, he was involved in that. So, if you go back in history on this Uptown connection, J-Lo was all up in it from the beginning. I had no idea about that. What I thought was that Diddy was with Kim. Kim also worked for Uptown. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, I got that from Storm watching uh, Jaguar on Storm's channel. But, like I said, a lot of this is coming from a lot of different sources, but I want to try to give everybody their credit. So, but the information that I found out about J-Lo, I found out on my own. Because I was watching Wendy Williams one day and I was like, see, Wendy had made the statement, how you doing? That she wanted Diddy and J-Lo to get back together. But J-Lo gave a little history about Uptown Records and how she had met Diddy there and how it wasn't Diddy who gave her the name J-Lo. It was Heavy D. Who knew, right? Because everybody thought because they were so public that it was, and then, I didn't know this, but I thought the Heavy D's um, star was on decline because I didn't think he was making records like that. But mind you, before all of this, he had already made 5 gold albums, right? Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot. Less than what Diddy had set up for that good casting. But 5 albums. So, um, now, being that he was one of his backup dancers, that's when everything got intertwined with J Lo and them dancing in Living Color. She was a black girl, right? And Diddy was always around Heavy D. Now, mind you, Diddy was already Andre Harrell's protege in a way, but Heavy D's identity, he was so tiny, whatever. So, and Gene, I can't ever get that little rhyming name right. But anyway, he also talked about how Diddy was also a wild card, always a wild card. No one at Uptown could really trust him because he was like one of those like little. Now back in the day when I would hear these stories about Diddy, I always thought that it was because he was hungry, right? He was hungry, right? But allegedly, his sexual um, deviancy actually came from, according to Jaguar Wright, came from Andre. Now I didn't know all these things were going on with Andre, but I had already heard rumblings about Clive Davis. So I just figured, hey, whatever Clive's involved in, little sicko, in my opinion. And so, they're over there, doing things. And like I said, I thought him and these stars was on the decline and uh, you know, Diddy was rising up. However, remember I said they were all founding members. And don't let me forget Mary J. She over there too. They were all founding members of Uptown Records. And so I also thought that Abby Star was on the decline. Well, because he only put out them couple of albums, right? Well, And he also was an executive at Uptown. Mm, mm, mm. So he was with Kim first. Mesa was there. Then he got with Mesa. Then he got with Kim. And all of them had stirred up all these juices together because we do know they stirred their juices together because Diddy got a baby with Mesa. Diddy had kids with Kim, and Kim had a child with Abby Sure. Only person that didn't have a child was Andre. Hmm. Right now, my main source told me, I was like, what in the world is going on with these rumblings about Heavy D? He was like, well, Heavy D, did he work for Heavy? And I was like, he did? Because, of course, you thought that Heavy D was the artist and maybe Diddy had come up under him and he was just a dancer, right? And made it. But who knew that he was actually really a protege? And so Diddy, he would get inspiration from Heavy. And like I said, he would go everywhere Heavy went. Heavy was introducing him to all the heavy hitters. So Heavy had, like I said, he had mostly wanted to do uh, the business side of things, and he had wrote a lot of hits according to RGG. Okay, so at the time of his death, his daughter was only 11 years old, and he had a will, right? And that will was being executed by his brother Floyd. But guess who was always in the picture? That's right. That good Diddy and Andre. Because remember, by this time, Diddy's getting his footing and he is leaving Uptown. According to Andre, he fired Diddy. But in Andre Harrell's own words in an interview, he stated that Diddy was still being managed by him. Oh, what a money resides. So, in all of this, it wasn't that Heavy D always looked at him as like he was a little brother. And he was out there bad because it was also rumored, according to my source, pretty reliable source, because he knew Wolf. Bet you didn't know that name, did you? Okay, so my source knew Wolf. And according to Wolf, he was out there bad, and by this time his star was rising, and a lot of the times it was just like a situation where Heavy was just trying to keep him under the radar and all this. But he had gotten his alleged sexual deviances from Andre. So Andre taught him how to siphon, allegedly, energy from young boys. And guess who's one of the young boys allegedly that, according to Jaguar, that uh, Andre had siphon energy? Did he? And so my source was actually invited to a VIP party that they all were at. Yes. And all his friends sent back. He was running late, so he was like, "Okay, well, they still gonna let me in." It's like, no, don't go there because it is surrounded by young men. Now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, a lot of people have been saying alleged that he is gay. I don't think he's gay, right? Okay, we're gonna get into Colleen Pink's expose about Sloan. And this is where my information comes in here about what I think and why I think this, right? So he allegedly having sex with boys, right? And everybody's like, don't hang out with him because all he likes to do is sleep with a bunch of young agons, right? These boys are not gay initially, right? These are Diddy's transfers, and that's what I call transfer of energy. Now, remember in my last video, I said that he was an incubus, and this is before I had done any of this research. I just noticed that from him. Now, like I said, every man that sleeps with men, in my opinion, is not gay. Diddy is the type, because of what Andre Harrell, and this is where the chain comes in, allegedly did for him and what Clyde did to Andre. And the chain goes on and on because I'm pretty sure maybe somebody had done it to Clyde. I think with my spiritual connection, just like Sloan, and of course, I'm not nearly as in tune as Sloan is. Don't get it twisted. She make the big bucks. But by me having reading from her and then going with my own intuition, this is how I felt like Diddy was not gay. And that expose that Color Me Pink did, I told her that not gay. No, not gay. It was a situation where I watched this show by Tyler Perry called Ruthless, right? And I immediately started sensing, even though it's a show and it's a scripted show, I immediately started sensing the same type of energy that the highest on Ruthless gives to his male, followers on that show. What he does is he sleeps with them, right? The males. And he transfers his emon into the males. And the males are allegedly producing other offspring to grow the Rakadushi, right? Empire. So in Sloan's description of Diddy, I kind of saw him in that way, more so siphoning energy, not just for sexual pleasure, but to kind of weaken the male and kind of sort of like book breaking and kind of bring that energy into him to not only get their youth and not only get sexual pleasure out of it, but to get power. Okay. Now, with this powerful energy that Diddy exudes, you know, really against him. Because if you look back at things, you had some of the most, including Heavy, but he had some kind of hold over Heavy that was like more like a, he was trying to kind of protect him like a big brother type thing. But like with uh Big. Now, it is also being put out there that he allegedly was book breaking Biggie too. Allegedly. Okay. I'm not sure 100% about Biggie, but like I said, according to Sloan, she also said that these big, huge males, and if you think about that whole thing with Cassie, about how he wanted the biggest black to mess with her, they were all much, much larger than, uh, they were all much, much larger than uh, Cassie and him. But his presence intimidates people. And that's what you have to understand about the Napoleon complex. Did it probably about that tall right there. But like I said, his presence is intimidating. And how he gains that intimidating presence is because he pulls from the youth of these men that he sleeps with. Like I said in my previous video, I don't think he sleeps with men his age. That would be counterproductive. Okay. So moving right along. So, like I said, the psychic slump. This is where she comes in. Jaguar Wright had also stated that and my source, my personal source, also told me that uh Harry D was getting ready to write